Hello, loves. So I have been sitting, steeping like a cup of tea in a theme this week, and I felt really called to just sit down and go live and share it with you because I make up, if I'm feeling it so acutely, there are probably a lot of you who are as well. So it's this idea that keeps coming to me of resiliency fatigue. And for any of you who had early learning of adaptability like I did of suppressing discomfort in order to feel fine and to feel like we can manage what life throws at us, this is for you. If you are someone like me who has learned to hold on to my rose colored glasses like this during challenging times rather than allowing the full spectrum experience, this is for you. So we are navigating a pandemic, no news to any of you. All of the things that we have counted on, found security in, thought were sturdy and stable are being challenged, which I make up is really in service of collective growth as we really need right now. And it's very disorienting. There's lots of discomfort everywhere we turn. There's very real suffering in a variety of ways, intensities, all of that. So what's coming to me based on my week is, early this week, I realized that I was completely blind to how much I was suppressing my discomfort. I go into superwoman mode and just handle stuff. That's my thing. That's my tendency. That is how I have survived challenges through much of my life. And what happens as a pattern that I've seen unfold many times since I've been conscious of it is I do that thing. And then at some point, the wisdom of my body and energetic system goes, oh no, sister, no more of that. You don't get to suppress because it's weighing you down. And then there's some sort of what feels to me like a volcanic eruption. Now, for me, it's not an aggressive volcanic eruption, but it's kind of a holy shit, where did all this come from kind of thing. And I feel like there's this sense of, many of us could have done this heavy lifting of adaptability and conjuring resiliency and all of that if this had been a 4-week journey, if this had been a 2-month journey, if this had even been a 6-month journey. But we are looking at this situation in the collective right now, whatever angle you're looking at it from. And I think we're getting tired. We are getting tired of not feeling like we have that sturdy place to land, regroup, and recover. And there's something really important about acknowledging what's real, because when we acknowledge what's real, healing and growth and movement happen. Again, it's counter our training and our programming a lot of times. So the need to feel what's real requires that we take off our rose-colored glasses. And I am a pro at finding the purpose in discomfort and the lesson in discomfort, which serves me so well until it doesn't. And then it becomes an avoidance strategy. So my body, I'm very grateful for, will just take me to my knees sometimes and bring the emotions up. And so thing number one I would like to speak to is when that opportunity to feel arises, I invite / challenge you to do your best to allow it. The inclination may be to sort of wall up, protect, and say, I can't do it now. There's no way. But acknowledging it and saying, I'm going to come back to you later. Let's say you're, working with a client or actively doing something with your child where you don't have the space to process, but still acknowledge what's there in some way and make the commitment to circle back to it is one thing that I would like to offer as a strategy. Often we never come back. And part of the way we build trust and security within ourselves is that we know we will honor ourselves. And that includes those tender little parts that come up that are connected to our discomfort, our pain, our fear, our helplessness, all that stuff. Our grief, oh, I've been so in my grief this week. Grief that I can't be a fully present parent because I'm trying to work. Grief that I can't be fully immersed in my work that I love because I'm trying to be a solid parent. Grief that I'm failing at all of it, right? Like all of that. Grief that this isn't fucking ending. And that isn't playing the victim when you're taking responsibility for being with the emotion and honoring it and working with it. So it's creating trust between your little parts and your kind of big bad tough parts, so that they have a relationship rather than being somewhat estranged. So one of the things that comes up for me is a practice that I like to use because I like visualization. So if you like visualization as a way to work with energy and emotion, this may be helpful for you. So tuning in and being quiet with yourself and asking, what is real for me? What is the tenderness of what I'm feeling emotionally? Or what, it might be anger. It might not feel tender. It might be just like, I'm so sick of this. And you're having to kind of be nice and polite. Or it might be, I'm so sad. I'm so sad that I don't get to do blank. I'm so sad that whatever, right? And so close your eyes and put that almost like in a pile. And it might be different things, or it might be one thing that represents your discomfort, but allow it to take a visible physical form. That may be a place, that may look like some sort of creature, it may look like a shape, it could be really anything. And stay with it until that comes into focus for you. You may have to breathe with it and just stay curious and open and kind of slow yourself down a little bit so it can come up. And then as you do that, imagine your highest self. It might look like the great father archetype that has strength and this kind of firmness of love. It might look like a divine mother archetype that just feels like a warm blanket. Again, this is not our moms and our dads. This is like the most wholesome, whole version of these energies. Or it might be both. And imagine that, which is part of you, coming in and holding space for that. So it might look like an arm wrapped around that thing. It might look like love offered in some way. It might look like presence, like coming and just sitting next to that discomfort. But allow yourself to integrate the compassionate, loving, space holding part of yourself that has wanted to avoid being with this discomfort with the actual tender or unsavory part of your emotional experience, and let that play out in your mind almost like a conversation is happening, and see what happens. Because after that, you're going to start moving some energy. It may result in tears. It may be that you want to go scream in a pillow. It may be that you want to write about it. Who knows? You move energy the way you move energy. However, you're offering a space for that truth of your experience to be acknowledged, which will create some relief and therefore some authentic resiliency, which is not the same as puffed up, tough person resiliency. And many of us have learned that as a coping strategy during challenging times, myself included. So we want to meet it with authentic compassion and care rather than posturing, even if it's internal posturing. So I invite you to do that, and then you can put those rose-colored glasses right back on, and you can say, okay, what am I learning from this? What is the purpose? Where can I find gratitude? Where, go back to it. But we have to take breaks from that in order to really live into our authentic wholeness and authentic experience, especially during challenging times, because that's when you can really believe in your strength and really believe in your ability to navigate the spectrum of life experiences. I so hope this is helpful. I'm going to be doing my practice this week right along with you all, and I wish you greater ease and peace than you have perhaps known as you allow yourself to care for these sweet little scared or angry or sad or grieving parts within yourself. Right. Big love.